The Philadelphia Eagles are looking to add another ring, and they're depending on a few risks for that to happen. One of which is kind of out of their hands, and the other one already seems like the bet is paying off. We'll talk about all that. Also, I know you're probably wondering why I'm here. Well, I want to let you know how you can win a Derrick Henry 1 of 1 authentic helmet. So let's talk.
You want Philly food?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
We'll start with the obvious. Obviously, the Philadelphia Eagles last year dealt with a lot of injuries, and they did not look like the same team that we're used to seeing. Obviously, a lot of those injuries were along the offensive line with guys like Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata. Shoot, all of them were banged up. It was really tough for the Eagles to get their run game going behind a makeshift line. Now, you had guys like Fred Johnson come in and play some good snaps for you, but you also had some guys come in and do absolutely nothing. So the Eagles didn't do much when it comes to that offensive line this offseason, and it may be a cause for concern. Obviously, depth is something that you need to have in the NFL because people are always banged up, and the Eagles don't really have that at the offensive line. Now, if you look at other positions, I guess we do have a little bit more depth when you look at the cornerback room, when you look at the edge rusher room in particular, and even the wide receiver room. You're probably the deepest you've ever seen that room. So there is some areas where you're happy about the depth, but there's definitely some areas that you're worried about. We talked about offensive line, but also linebacker. I know a lot of people are very high on Jeremiah Trotter and very high on what Jihad Campbell can do, but Jihad Campbell does have an injury history, and Jeremiah Trotter, I love him too, but he is unproven, and Zach Bond is getting older. So one injury to that room, we're looking at Smile Munden, we're looking at a bunch of unknowns to go into that position, and it does have me a little bit worried. Same thing with safety. Safety is a position we really didn't do anything outside of getting a couple of undrafted free agents and getting Marcus Epps back. Now, everyone I've spoken to has said that Marcus Epps is the clear answer right now. He's the clear number one, but that can change. Things can definitely change over the next couple of weeks, and we'll see what happens there. I would love for one of these younger dudes to kind of make a name for themselves and go out there and ball out, because that's what we need. I'm going to be 100% honest. If it's Marcus Epps all the way into the playoffs, I'm going to be a little bit worried about that safety room. Now, obviously, the cornerbacks have gotten a lot better, so maybe it takes a little bit of pressure off of that last line of defense, but you have Andrew Mukuba back there, who a lot of people seem to be really excited to see his maturation, and if he can stay healthy, he should be a very good starter for the Eagles at the bottom. I think that's the floor that you want out of Mukuba, a very good long-term option at that safety spot. But I am, like I said, worried about that other side. Who's going to be the other safety? We know that Cooper DeJean is going to play more safety, but he's still going to be our nickel cornerback. So when he's at that nickel spot, who's going to be the main guy taking over that safety spot? We will see. I do like our wide receivers. I do like our running back room. I think we're very strong when it comes to our quarterback room. If something, God forbid, is to happen to Jalen Hurts, I think we're prepared. You got Andy Dalton, you got Tanner McKee, and you got some young guys that will probably be ready if it calls for. If you're down to your third quarterback, it is what it is at that point anyways, right? So I don't want to overstate it, and I don't want to act like we're the worst team and we're just depleted everywhere, but there is definite cause for concern when it comes to your depth. So that's the first thing that they're kind of risking. We'll see what happens, and hopefully it pans out for the Eagles. I will say on the other end of that, right, the Eagles are also, there is a good side of this, right? If the Eagles find those young guys, maybe Markel Bell, he's been getting a lot of buzz at training camp. Maybe he's possibly the future for Lane Johnson. That's a positive. If you can find that other guy, maybe it's Cole Wisniewski at the safety spot. That's a positive. And same thing with these linebackers. If, Jeremiah Trotter is everything we expect him to be, that's a huge positive. And same thing with Jihad Campbell. If those two are the guys kind of taking over the next generation of linebackers, I think we will be fine. All right, so quickly, I want to let you guys know how you can get your chance to win this helmet. It is a 1-of-1 authentic helmet. It is absolutely beautiful. Derrick Henry painted 1-of-1 art absolutely insane. How do you win it? Come through to my job, Memorabilia Mayhem. We're giving this bad boy away. You can choose between this and the Emmitt Smith, but I think that, you know, if I know my audience, you most likely are going to be more interested in this. It is what it is. Go Birds. I'm going to leave the link down below for you guys to join. Definitely follow. Let them know that Philly sent you. You know what I'm saying? And I'll have the QR code for you to follow as well. I hope to see you guys over there. We're giving this bad boy away Friday. So go follow now and do not miss your chance. We're giving away a lot of crazy stuff coming up, but let's get back into the video. Now, the second, I think, is a risk that they've been taking. I'll be honest with you. Ever since we drafted Jalen Hurts in the second round, it is a risk that they've been taking, and it is a bet that has been paying off. And I think that this year, you're starting to see it pay off even more, and that's giving Jalen Hurts his team, giving Jalen Hurts his guys. And I think that when you look at last year, and shoot, if you look at over even our Super Bowl year, it was his team, but you had guys like A.J. Brown that demanded the ball, and rightfully so. I think that when you look at what A.J. Brown was for this team, he was very talented, and we can say all the things we want to say about him, but he did a lot of things for the Eagles and did a lot of things well for the Eagles, and we'll see what he does in New England. I'm hating watching. I'm hate watching. It is what it is. But you look at what he was able to do, it makes sense to have to kind of force him the ball in some situations. You look at what Saquon Barkley has been for the Eagles, and it makes sense to kind of force him the ball sometimes. But I think with this Sean Mannion offense, what you're doing is now putting the ball in Jalen's hands more than ever, right? Obviously, you're a quarterback. It's always in your hands, but the decisions are going to be on you. You're going to have to get open if you're a wide receiver. It just is what it is. In this type of offense, you're going to have to get open, and you're going to have to get open quickly. The running backs are going to have a lot of chances to make things happen in the passing game. So there's going to be many targets to spread around, but you're going to have to work for it. And I think that that's a bet. That's a risk. I think that when you look at, again, when you look at what we had in A.J. Brown, losing that is not easy. You don't just replace that with a Mekhi Lemon. You don't replace that with a Darius Cooper or whoever else you want, Johnny Wilson, who I haven't heard much about. You don't just replace that, right? Those are guys that came in here and did things that a lot of special things for this team, obviously winning us a Super Bowl. But when you get a team that just wants to see the rest of them win, when you get a team that you have Devontae Smith out there saying, as long as someone's open, you know, when you have Mekhi Lemon saying the same thing, as long as someone is open, this is a success. You're not necessarily looking at your own numbers and saying, if I'm not getting the ball, this is a failure. And I'm not going to say who did that, but we know who did that. So at the end of the day, I think that having a team that is all about success, having a very, very similar mindset to what Jalen Hurts has in just winning and winning and winning. Nothing else matters. I think that that's huge. And it is a risk. Again, it is a risk, but on the other side of that risk is prosperity, right? On the other side of that risk, you can kind of build a team that doesn't cost that much, right? You can build a team that is understanding that the ball's going to get spread around. You're not going to necessarily get paid like that number one wide receiver because you might not necessarily be it, even if you have that talent. So it'll make it easier to bring in talent that fits this offense. Whereas before, I think we were trying to fit this offense around the talent we wanted. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. So we'll see what happens there, but we will probably see a Devontae Smith pay. We probably will see an extension very, very soon for Devontae Smith, and he deserves it. It is what it is. He's, I think, ranked 18th in the league as far as his yearly money goes. So he's definitely most likely going to get his money, right? You see, like how I did that, definitely most likely. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but it's most likely going to happen. It just makes sense. That's going to come along with more than just what he does on the field, though. He's going to have to be a leader, and he's going to have to make sure that these wide receivers are getting up to speed, that Jalen Hurts has an outlet on third downs, and even guys like Eli Stowers are going to be able to learn from a guy like Devontae Smith. So, look, there's risk. There's reward. We'll see what happens during the season and how it all plays out. But I'm very excited to see what this team can be. And I think that the risk reward is really just, you have to do it. You have to do it. You have to get younger. You have to continue to build a team, not just have great players. I think that they're doing. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments. But other than that, you know what it is, man. Y'all know what it's going to be. It is Fly Eagles Fly. And we are out here. Peace.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
Fly Eagles fly on the team. Touchdown, touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This It's a Bird Gang Nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling the Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randall. Season here, early time to do 'em in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.